Welcome and welcome back. If you are new, my name is Natisha. I'm a vintage reseller and collector, and I mostly go out thrift store shopping to find vintage items to resell. And if you're not new, then you know that this is my living room, and this is where I used to do my haul videos. And today I am going to share with you what's sold in my vintage booth. And my vintage booth is located in a vendor mall called Backwin Market in Rostern, Saskatchewan. And it opened January 3rd. It is a brand new vendor mall, and I'm a brand new vendor. And I did really well for the month of January, so I thought I would share those sales with you all. But first, I'm going to insert a very short thrifting clip and a little clip of my latest booth restock. And then we'll come back here and I will share my sales for the month of January. Today I am in Rostern, Saskatchewan, and I am at the MCC Clothes Basket. So let's go on in and see if I can find any vintage items to resell in my Etsy shop, Fifth Avenue Vintage Co., put in my booth out here in Rostern, or keep for myself.
She wants to drive out with me in the whole bit at 8 in the morning.
Paint tags are half price. So I'm just going to check out their little vintage area, see if there's anything new. Doesn't look like there's anything new here. This is a cute set. It is $8. That's not too bad for a complete set. Is that a chip? Oh, that is a chip. Thought maybe that was a spot for a spoon, but it is a chip. Still have the Blue Mountain pottery, $7 each for those. I have a set of those already listed in my shop. $12 and $15. So those are pretty close to retail. So today I am at Backwin Market in Rostern, Saskatchewan, and this is where my vintage booth is. And I came out here to do some restocking. It is the day after Valentine's Day, so I figured I better get out here and do a little bit of switching of the holiday decor, take down the Valentine's decor. I've got a little bit of St. Patrick's Day to put up. So I'm going to do that, as well as I've got to get my monthly statement to see what sold in my booth and how much profit I made. It is the very first booth I've ever had and the first month of this brand new shop. So it'll be interesting to see how much profit I made in the booth. So let's go on in and we will do some restocking, rearranging, and then we'll see what sold. So that is the restocking of my booth. I had a few things sell, so I had a few holes to fill. I switched a couple things around just to make it look a little bit different. Added the cookie jar in the corner cabinet there. And the cake caddy sold, so I added a antique ironstone bowl. And that is where I had my Valentine's decor. And I just switched it out for a little bit of St. Patrick's Day decor. All right, so what sold in my antique booth? January 3rd was opening day, and the first day I sold an antique needlepoint. I picked this up at a yard sale, either last summer or the summer before, and I purchased it. I don't think I paid more than $5 for it, and it sold for $49. A book for $2. I don't know exactly what book that was. I can't recall. A little antique book for $6. A vintage book for $24. an antique flow blue dish for $22, and an antique flow blue dish for $24, for a total of $133. On January 4th, I sold a vintage Italian red clay pottery planter for $18. On January 5th, I sold a vintage tooled leather purse for $55 and a vintage vinyl black purse for $24, for a total of $79. On January 6th, I sold a fat separator for $8 and an Anchor Hawking lidded glass dish for $18, for a total of $26. On January 7th, I sold a brass votive holder for $4. On January 11th, I sold a set of 6 gold-plated spoons for $20. And on January 13th, I sold a copper jello mold for $15, a rustic vintage copper pot for $24, and that was a total of $39 on the 13th. On January 17th, I sold a pheasant tray for $15, and I don't recall exactly what that was. So I can't put a picture of it up because I don't remember what the pheasant tray was, but it sold for $15. On January 18th, I sold a heart-shaped compact that was framed, and that sold for $55. And I don't think I have a photo of that either. I was actually in there that day restocking my booth, and I hung it on the wall, and before I could take a photograph of my restocking of my booth, it sold. A lady was in there and she was shopping and she purchased it. So it sold right away. On January 19th, I sold a novelty ashtray for $12. On January 20th, I sold a fluted tart pan for $15, a Le Creuset loaf pan for $85, a set of 4 blue King's Crown goblets for $35, and the Old West book for $18, for a total of $153. On January 24th, I sold a kitchen wall decor hanging for $18, a stoneware pottery candle holder for $8, for a total of $26. On January 25th, I sold a green daisy cream and sugar bowl set for $12, an Anchor Hawking amber glass ashtray for $20, and a cake caddy for $35, for a total of $67. On January 26th, I sold another vintage fluted tart pan for $15, and on January 27th, I sold an oil lamp for $36. And my total earnings for January were $698. So I thought that was a really great first month, especially since it was January after Christmas and it was a brand new vendor mall. And I'm a brand new vendor. I thought I did really well for the first month, and we shall see how February goes. And that's all for today. Thank you so much for joining me, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.